Hi, this is Randy. I hope you are able to still enjoy the free telesummit with a lot of speakers that you can listen to. They each speak for about an hour. There's probably 12 or 15 of them. I have listened to at least half of the people. I just got done listening to Sandra Brown. I would highly recommend listening to this if you still get a chance, but I want to make this video to try to summarize a little bit about what she said in case you missed the free telesummit and are watching my video here after the 24 hours has lapsed for you to listen free. And I'm talking about the Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day telesummit. So what Sandra Brown talked about was something super exciting to me, and she confirmed what I had been saying, that I'm not codependent, and I'm really not that empathetic, I guess. I'm not like a super empath type of a person, especially in a relationship, I guess, with a man, because I really haven't had the feeling that I need to be super empathic with a man that I was in love with. Not any that I've been in love with so far. But anyway, regardless. Okay. So, all this business of, if you were with a narcissist and you've gotten duped by one, if you were in a long-term relationship with one, you got fooled by one, it must mean that you had this childhood abuse, you must be codependent, and you must work on your empathy traits because you've just been too empathic to people, and you need to stop doing that so that you can protect yourself. So for some people that is true. For others who don't see themselves as somebody who has been abused in childhood and then codependent, there's another explanation, and it's talking about super traits and the big 5 personality traits. So 2 of them that Sandra Brown talked about was agreeableness and conscientiousness. I did make a video on this stuff a little while ago, referring you to Jordan Peterson and his website, where you can take the test, and it's about $10. It's called understandingyourself.com, I believe, but she said that it's online for free, so I'm not sure. I've never seen the test for free, but if you want to take it, look up something like Big 5 personality traits and take the test to find out where you're at. But I would guess that if you're like me, I'm not super high in agreeableness, okay, but I am high in conscientiousness. So in a relationship, right, when you are getting love bombed, even if you're not high in agreeableness, okay, you're going to tend to become pretty darn agreeable in that situation, because you're in love, you're feeling all these emotions, and you are the oxytocin and the hormones are kicking, and you want to please this person. So especially if they're being nice to you, you're going to be very agreeable to their suggestions, and there's not a problem with that. So that's how you get into a relationship with someone like this. And this also shows a narcissist that you are the type of really good supply that they want, because they want somebody who's agreeable and who wants to please them, because they want you to totally jump into their world and make your world revolve around them. So you do that for a while, and I mean, everybody does when they fall in love. It doesn't have to be a narcissist that you're with for you to, want to please the other person and be agreeable. So that's pretty much normal. If you're a super agreeable person on the big 5 traits, you're going to probably continue to do that out of natural instinct, out of part of your personality, that you're just somebody who likes to go along, and somebody who, doesn't want to make conflict, can make concessions, saying to yourself, it doesn't hurt me too much, let me just go along with this, especially if it's not even breaking your boundaries, right? But it's just something, it's a way that people bend. Females especially are pretty high in agreeableness, and that might be why they are more in the human services field, in the medical fields, teaching fields, and also why they don't necessarily ask for raises and demand higher pay like a man might in those fields where you can negotiate your pay. Okay, outside of that, conscientiousness. So, if you were a good student, you you don't procrastinate, you're organized, you like to get things done, you are responsible, all these things that the narcissist isn't, right? The narcissist is like opposite of conscientious, and they find somebody who is very highly conscientious. Hold on a second, motorcycle going by, scooter, okay. So they find someone who is very conscientious because they lack that, because they need someone to help organize their life, and they want you to put your own needs and your own need for organizing your life aside, and spend all of your time organizing their lives, fixing them up, making sure they're fed, they're clean, they're happy all the time. And you get exhausted doing that. But this conscientious trait, how that plays into the relationship. So let's say you're with the narcissist and they have, now begun to devalue you. And even whether you're very agreeable or not, or you're willing to confront them and get into conflict, which you almost can't stop or cannot prevent. And some people will challenge narcissists even earlier on in the relationship, more than others. I remember something that I did when the narcissist was, berating me, telling me that I didn't love his children as much as I loved my own, and I was supposed to, and apparently, in his opinion, I wasn't doing enough for his 4 children, not doing what I should have been doing, not buying them the gifts that I should have been giving, and even sometimes resenting all the work that he kind of laid on me to do for them. So me and my conscientiousness self bought a book about step-parenting, read the whole thing, and discovered that here's proof in this book that no, I'm not wrong. I'm supposed to not be like a parent to the step kids. I'm supposed to let their dad be their parent, and I'm kind of supposed to be their quote-unquote friend, because they already have 2 parents, okay? I'm supposed to be, polite and friendly, not discipline them, and let their parents be their parents. And so turns out, by accident, I was already doing that. So I found this book, read the whole thing, and I forced the narcissist to listen to me read parts of this book while we were on vacation. I basically trapped him in a vehicle and read out loud things in this book so that he could see that his perception of what he expected me to do with his children was not the correct way to go about it. And so that was my conscientiousness, in other words. I was trying to fix things in a logical way. Conscientiousness kicks in when You don't leave the relationship because you're a committed person. You're a responsible person. You follow through with your commitments. You don't just cut and run. You don't just, take off at the first sight of a problem, right? So if you're with somebody for a while and, you're in love and you know that there's potential because you've experienced this great love before, at least at the beginning, right? You try to get that back. You try to work on things. That's what we learn to do. It's like solving problems, right? Figure out what's wrong and solve it. We know that the narcissist secretly never wants to solve any problems, and they totally avoid any solutions to problems, which is super frustrating, and it makes a conscientious person just absolutely driven mad, because that's how we're oriented. There's a problem, let's figure out how to solve it, let's talk about it. The narcissist's view of there's a problem is either no, there's no problem, or yeah, there's a problem, I'm going to leave or give you the silent treatment until you can act like and pretend like there is no problem anymore because I don't want to deal with it. And or yeah, there's a problem and the problem is you, instead of there's this problem that we can identify and work on together like a normal person. So the conscientiousness is what keeps us together with the narcissist. There is all the trauma bonding and all that stuff, and the love and the mixing of body fluids that binds and bonds a woman to a man, and the history and all that. But outside of that, our conscientiousness trait is what keeps us continuing to work on something that other people with less conscientiousness would have just cut and run sooner. So what Sandra Brown recommends is that if you are pretty high in agreeableness, or even, moderate agreeableness, but high in conscientiousness, don't feel like a codependent and, this super empath, then what you need to do is identify your personality traits. And she recommended that you at least have one friend, right, that isn't super high in conscientiousness and agreeableness. At least one friend, one buddy who you can pass by things over, pass things by, who would say, oh no, girl, I'd be out of there, or and she's shown through her actions that's how she plays the game, that she cuts and runs pretty quickly when she sees the flags, okay? She doesn't stick in there and try to fix things, try to solve things. She doesn't really have that much feeling of commitment or responsibility. But the other thing that Sandra Brown said is, like, we don't want to get rid of these traits, okay? These are not bad traits. These are like awesome traits. They're actually the best traits to have for a relationship. And we are primed for relationships. We get a lot of joy and satisfaction being in a good relationship. So we're not trying to get rid of our conscientiousness or agreeableness. We're trying to just identify it in a specific situation. If you do happen to get into another relationship, have that one friend that you can pass something by and say, look, he did this. Do you think that's something that you would just like say, all right, I'm out of here now? Or would, do you think we should fix it? Get somebody else's opinion who isn't quite as conscientious as you are, and who isn't quite as responsible and prone to just stick with things when the going gets tough. I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive. All right, I'm running out of time. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Listen to Sandra Brown if you still get a chance, and if not, take the personality test and be aware of your conscientiousness and how it can actually hurt you if you're involved with a narcissist, but it can help you in any other normal relationship. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.